Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to show you how we take these bags of frozen tomatoes and turn them into this jar of tomato sauce. I'm just kidding. We got 13 pints. Let's do this. It's cold in here today. It's been cold in here a few days. We got negative temperatures outside, and doesn't matter how high you set the heat inside, there's still a chill running through you. So we grow tomatoes in our garden every year, and the type of sauce tomatoes we grow are indeterminate, which means that they don't all ripen at once. They ripen over several weeks. It used to be I would harvest tomatoes and then try and get sauce made before that first batch goes bad, and then repeat that process until the end of the season. Well, a couple years ago, I learned a much easier way. Instead of harvesting tomatoes, making sauce, harvesting more tomatoes, making more sauce, and repeating that, you just harvest, you trim them down, place them in a bag, and then throw them in the freezer. And then repeat that until the end of the season. Then you can make sauce all in one big batch and have it all done in one day. And you can do that whenever. It's a week before Christmas, and I'm just getting around to it. They keep fine in the freezer until you're ready to do it, so it works great. So when I make tomato sauce, I don't take the skins off or the seeds out. My method involves a stick blender at the end of processing, which breaks all that down and actually thickens the sauce. You can totally take that stuff out if you want, and it'll work the same way. It'll just be a thinner sauce, or you cook it down more until it's to your liking. So let's get into it. So these bags are all thawed out now, and you can see just how much water there is that came out of these tomatoes. This is another reason it makes it so much easier, because now we don't have to spend all that time simmering on the stove trying to get all of that water out to make the sauce thicker. So we're going to strain these, and I'm actually going to save this water, and I'll use it for making stock. So I'll put that into jars and just freeze it until I'm ready to make some more stock with chicken bones or any of the vegetable scraps that I save and freeze until I have enough to make stock. Now that everything's strained, I like to run them through the blender just so they cook down quicker and reduce better, and it's less work for the immersion blender later. I don't have an exact recipe because the amount of tomatoes changes every time I do this, and it's all based on personal taste anyway. So what we got here is a good quality olive oil. We've got some minced garlic that we harvested from the garden this year. We got some red pepper, gives it just a little bit of a kick, and then a bunch of oregano we harvested as well. To get started, we throw a big pot on the stove, turn it up between medium and medium-high. Then we do about a 3-second glug of olive oil. Let that heat up for a minute, and then we'll throw in the minced garlic. Get that stirred around. Stir, stir, stir. Then we'll throw in the tomatoes. I almost needed a second pot for this. Then we're going to turn it up to high and bring it up to a boil. See it blubbing along there. Then we'll throw in our red pepper. And then I do a couple handfuls of oregano. I like a lot of oregano, but the amount is all up to you. You do you. All right, it's been simmering for about an hour. And you can see it's gone down a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the stick blender and blend it all up, get it all nice and smooth, and then we'll test how thick it is and see if it's to my liking. All right, that thickened it up quite a bit. You can see there's still some seeds in there. You can see a little strand of skin, but like it's small and it's been cooking for a while. I'll give it another blend in a little bit. This isn't as thick as I want it yet. We're getting close, but we'll check back in about a half hour. All right, it's been another half hour. I gave it another blend, tasted it, tastes amazing. It's got the right consistency now. It's pretty thick. It pushes back when I move the spatula around. So yeah, we're gonna turn the heat off, cover this up, and let it cool down. I had to take off yesterday after I took it off the heat, and I didn't get back till late. So I just put a cover on it, threw it in the fridge, and now it's the next morning. Good Lord, doesn't that just look so damn good? All right, let's get this portioned up. I portioned it into pint jars, but if you're cooking for more than 2 people, you can totally use quart jars. Really, you can use any container you want. These are going to be frozen. It just depends how comfortable you are putting glass jars in the freezer. I've learned over the years that if you don't tighten the lids and put them in the freezer, they won't crack. And then once they're frozen, you can go back and tighten all the lids so that they don't get freezer burn. Here's a tip. Keep a roll of tape and a marker around so you can label everything. Too many times I've gone into the freezer and found something that's not labeled, and I have no idea what it is or when it's from. As you can see, this is a super simple sauce, and we use it for any dish that calls for tomato sauce. In fact, I'll use it in recipes that call for just a jar of tomatoes. This is actually the sauce that I've been using on my pizzas for many years, but I've found that it just makes a really good base for every other recipe.
All right, that's all we got for now.
We hope you get to try this recipe soon.
We will see you after the new year.
Have a safe holiday.
And
Merry Christmas.